See if I can figure out why I can't talk this morning. So the first one, anti-inflammatory. Plants are some of the best ways to work on inflammation. And if you guys remember some of other classes when we looked at chronic illnesses, that inflammation is really at the base of those. When your body does not like something, inflammation is created, okay? That inflammation then can cause problems. And I generally like to say whatever your weakness is in your body, that's kind of where it will come out, okay? Mine happens to be because of the fibromyalgia that I had. It happens to be my muscles. And so if I have, and my brain, I have issues. We had a conversation about how we were going to die, and I really think I'm going to die from a stroke. Because of the migraines I get, and sometimes it feels stroke-like, and I've had a stroke. You kind of are like, ah. So my weaknesses are my head. If something happens, I always get a headache. Always. It doesn't fail. I went out with some friends on Friday, right? And ate something that I don't normally eat. I told you it's my brain. That I don't normally eat. And woke up at 3 in the morning on Saturday with such a bad headache, I had to go sit in the recliner. And I was just like, oh man, my daughter had a volleyball tournament that day. I was supposed to drive her an hour and a half and then go sit in a gym with whistles and screaming girls. And so I was trying to figure that out. Anyway, so my brain is my weakness, and my muscles, my body ached. Okay, that's where it comes out in me. For other people, it might come out differently. It might come out and look like high blood pressure. It may trigger a diabetes kind of imbalance where it's a little bit out of control. You got to bring it back in. And some people, you may not realize it's going on in the body, and it will come out further down the road. Okay, it could come out as fatigue. But inflammation is something that we are concerned about, and that we're starting to notice is part of where issues come out, tumors, heart disease, so it's talking in there. Arthritis is big, so coming out in the joints. Does that make sense? Do you guys think I'm a little cuckoo? I see nods. Does that make sense, or am I cuckoo? I guess I should only, anybody else, you guys have any thoughts on that? Inflammation is huge. If you guys want to look into stuff on people's health, that's a big issue. Being exposed to different environmental toxins can do that. But plant proteins are also alkaline forming. So we've talked about that in the body. Acid is kind of, if your body's acidic, that also can lead to different issues that you can have. And also kidney stones. So kidney stones are one of the things that when we talk about somebody having a high protein diet, that we need to be careful. If you are prone to kidney stones, and some people are, so some people, it's kidney stones, that's their issue, right? They need to be careful on the level of protein that they're intaking, all right? So, but alkaline forming, and the reason why, if your body's acidic, then it's going to use calcium, maybe to decrease the acidity. And so that calcium, having that extra calcium there in the kidneys is then going to be a result in forming kidney stones, okay? And I had a meme, I posted on Facebook, I just thought it was funny, and I look at it and I just laugh now. The saying is, this too shall pass. It may pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. Anyway, lower cholesterol. So when you're taking plant proteins, then you are also going to be intaking fiber, right? And so, and also some of the other great things that are found in plants will help to lower cholesterol. And also antioxidants. So these are all found in more of the plant area. okay? So then, you know, at the end of a study, they looked at what some of the differences when you intook plants. And I like to say more plants. You're going to hear Mitch come and speak on vegetarianism. And I'm still not quite there, but our basic philosophy is similar. I do think we need to increase the amount of plants in our diets. We have to. That is what is going to turn it around. I haven't quite reached the point that that's the only way I get protein. But I do see that maybe there's a few days a week that I can start going without animal proteins and increasing my plant. So here are some ways to do that. They talk about what are some high protein plant foods. Hemp seed butter gives you more grams than protein, or than animal, than beef. An ounce of nuts is almost as much as the beef. The beef is about, I think, 8 grams per ounce. That's not right. In a 1 ounce, yeah, I think there's just, yeah, it's still an ounce, so anyway. And then some different grains that they have. And then peanut butter is always good. Chia seeds, I love chia seeds. I actually, when I make a smoothie, I grind up flaxseed and chia seeds and dump them in my smoothie just for extra. So, yeah.
So it says nuts, all nuts are 6 grams an ounce?
You know what? That may vary a little bit, but I would have to say that they would be close to that. And I'm gonna probably not do this right. Macadamia nuts and walnuts might be the best option. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm speaking from just something tucked away in my head. I'll have to look that up. And you can look that up too to see what the order of the nuts are. And it could be that macadamia nuts or walnuts have other health benefits that I'm thinking of. But they all should be a fairly decent source of protein. You're also getting fat with that, but if you are also intaking fat with that, you know, so you have to do that in moderation. But if you're not eating processed food, you know, then you're kind of substituting a healthy version of the processed food. So, you know, to me, that's, I say intake your nuts, you know. So yeah, so then, and chia seeds and pumpkin seeds, I also, if I have those, I grind them up. So I just take whatever seeds or possible nuts that I have there and I throw them in my Vitamix, I grind them up, and then dump them in with my smoothie. So it just kind of adds a little bit to them. Dried beans. When I went to Costa Rica, I was the athletic trainer for our youth group. I was the health person on that trip. I think I worked more than anybody else. You can't tell a teenage boy, please don't use a shovel in flip-flops until they actually almost cut their toe off. So I had quite the experience over there. They learned after that. They finally all started wearing shoes. I tried to prevent it. But anyway, we had beans and rice at every meal. It was beans and rice. And I'm telling you, when you're hungry, you can eat beans and rice. And it was good. I have to probably get back in the habit after I went. I kind of was like, okay, I'm not going to eat beans and rice for a while. But it really, what a great source of protein and carbs. It really is a good meal. And then I wasn't sure why they didn't have quinoa on there. I happen to like quinoa. There's a big bag for sale at Sam's right now, if you guys can go to Sam's. And it's really good. It's gluten-free, it's high in protein, and they say it contains all 9 of the essential amino acids. So for a grain, it's pretty good. And it's been around for a long, long time. But this is some of the stuff that you're gonna get from it. And so 222 calories, you're getting 39 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fat, and then 8 grams of protein, 5 of those grams of carbs or fiber. And then you can see all the minerals and it is a non-GMO, gluten-free, usually grown organically. And the NASA scientists are looking at it as a suitable crop to be grown in outer space. I thought that was kind of cool. So, and part of it is because of the flavonoids that it contains, which are antioxidants that have a lot of health benefits. So this is another one. This is one of my favorites. It's very high in fiber. And you can just add it to different foods like you would pasta or rice or, anything like that. So I am not sure why she did not have it in her list, but I think it's a great food. Okay. So, let's see. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. That's where we are. So why are legumes good? Legumes also will give you a very high amount of protein. Yeah.
So does the DC have enough food to where I can get my protein without paying?
I do not know that. I do want to tell you this. We have talked about setting up a meeting with them. It will probably happen after the semester. About going over there and having a meeting and saying, okay, what do you have available on a daily basis for our vegetarian students? What do you have for those that have celiac disease? What are some things that we can do to improve that? I know with the salad bar there, they have that, but I would imagine you're not getting the legumes or the good grains. Am I correct there? So, yeah, so I think that's a conversation. I do know that they are very open to hearing from us, is what I have heard, maybe until they hear from us, I don't know. But they're open to this conversation. So we're trying to help in that area. It just hasn't happened yet. So we would like to get together, and in fact, maybe from your nutrition guidelines that you give, that can be our conversation opener. As we look at that. But yeah, that's a good question. I know I have been there and gone through, and the only thing I could eat was the salad at the salad bar. So I wasn't getting, for me, there wasn't enough protein there. And I felt it. In an hour I had to eat another meal. But that was what I had. So yeah, right now you probably can't. Is anybody here doing that? Yeah, how are you doing?
I have really bad dairy allergies, so I just switched to being completely vegan, and it's impossible to do it through the DC, because even their veggie burgers and stuff contain dairy and eggs in them, and
So they're not really veggie burgers?
No. So the only legumes that they have is they have chickpeas, usually beans, but that's not a very good, and you can't really live off of peanut butter and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
From talking with Mitch, he said he would be willing to go to the DC and meet with us to see if we can figure out
Yeah.
a solution.
Yeah, he is definitely a part of all that. So yeah, and he would be better because he's actually living the lifestyle, and so he would be able to talk to them. I would be going more as an athletic trainer, advocating for healthier options in all areas. And then Mitch would be focusing on the vegetarian lifestyle. So, yeah, so we definitely are going to talk with them. We just kind of need to make sure we have all of our stuff in order and what that's gonna look like. So, so that just gives you some of kind of the mix of that. Okay. So just to make sure that we are good on some of our terminology, complete protein, it contains all the essential amino acids in the right balance. to support life, all right, and to be able to grow. Incomplete, then at least one of the essential amino acids is not there. And most plant options are incomplete, but like I talked about, if somebody's living a vegetarian lifestyle and they get their variety in, they should be fine. So, you just need to make sure that you have a variety of food that's coming in. So they talk about the complementary proteins, that you put them together. And to be honest, generally speaking, they kind of go together in a meal anyway. Like I just said, the beans and rice, together they create that complete protein, all right? And they go together well. So you just kind of pay attention to that. Now, if you have nitrogen, we talked about that a little bit, and we'll talk about that more on Wednesday too, that nitrogen, having that in the body, if you have a positive nitrogen balance, that is going to promote growth, but if you have a negative, then the body is losing protein. And when the body is losing protein, generally that means you're losing muscle. Okay? Here's just an example of that complementary that you have. So table 211, this is in where they talk about the vegetarian. So if you flip back to that, you will find the whole area where they go into kind of the vegetarian lifestyle and some of the things that they try to do there. Even looking at kind of your grains, starchy vegetables, legumes, nuts and seeds, going through all of those. But here, if you eat milk or drink milk or eggs, it makes it easier, but if you can't, then that does make it a little bit harder, because just adding the cheese to macaroni really boosts the protein amount and makes it kind of that whole complete protein. And so, but they use the milk and grains and milk and legumes. And then down here you can see where you have the grains and legumes that you can put those together. And beans happen to be one of the best sources of protein. And that is something I am working on. I'm a texture person, so I have a hard time eating beans. And I'm working on it, you guys. So the challenge is out there. Let's see if we can. How many of you like beans? And when we're not talking about green beans. I love green beans, but the other beans. Okay, good. I'm working on that. Maybe you guys can give me some good recipes to make that. Did I hear you just salt them and you're good? Okay. And if you're not eating processed foods, it's okay. It's okay to add salt, right? I love salt, so I'll have to give that a try. But we tend to eat a lot of Mexican, and I just can't do the refried beans. So I'm working on that. But those are all some options. All right, so vegetarianism, what types of food does a vegetarian eat? So this is kind of the list of different types of vegetarian. If you are thinking about this lifestyle, maybe start at the lessetarian, and go with meatless Mondays, right? So that might be where I start. We'll see. Not today. I need a week to process that. But you can ask me next Monday if I have my meatless Monday plan in place. I'm probably going to land here. In fact, this is about where I am, except mine would be I eat good beef, that I'm grass-fed beef that I think are completely grass-fed, no processed anything, and poultry. Did you guys happen to see I saw it on Facebook, but it was that a truck crashed, and all of these red Skittles went pouring out the back of it. I thought it was funny, since we've talked about Skittles in here too much. Have you guys seen this? Okay, the truck was on the way to a processing plant. These red Skittles, somehow the S was blurry on there, and so they were thrown out. It was going to a processing plant to process, to put into cattle feed. Yeah, that was what they were going to feed cattle, were Skittles. I just thought that was kind of funny. So be careful of the beef you eat, because you'll just be eating Skittles again. And so I'm like, that could be animal abuse. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of red dye there. So anyway, I just thought that was really weird. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know that candy, and they said it's a common practice, candy places if something messes up. I'm like, well, I guess they're recycling. But anyway, so then we have, somebody say this for me. Is it just pesco? I didn't know if it's like pesco or pesco or something. They eat fish along with vegetables. Ovo eats eggs. Ovo-lacto-vegetarian eats eggs and dairy, and then obviously those, ovo eats eggs, lacto eats dairy, and then vegan, no animal products at all. Okay? And if you check out this broccoli, talking about nutrient density, did you know 154 calorie cup, and broccoli is one of those that if it's cooked, the protein is more absorbable. But if you do that, you have 4 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, you have all these vitamins and minerals that are in there. It's low fat, high fiber, but this broccoli, and that's probably, am I there yet? Yeah, I messed up. Oh, that is where I am. So this broccoli is really healthy for you. So that is 1 cup of cooked broccoli. And that's something else. I like my broccoli raw. So I told my daughter, I said, okay, we're going to try this. I'll let you dip it in cheese. Just start, you know. We've got to start somewhere, right? Does anybody like steamed broccoli?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome. That is a great food. Great food. I like broccoli. I eat it raw, but once again, because of the plant structure to break down the walls, when you eat it steamed, you're able to absorb the nutrients better.
When you eat it steamed, do you lose fiber? It gets broken down.
You know, maybe a little bit, but I still would say, so maybe raw, your fiber would be up a little bit, but you wouldn't be able to absorb some of the nutrients as well. So maybe, you know, sometimes steam it, sometimes don't. But if you're also getting your other, let's say you're doing a salad too, so you're going to get good fiber there as well. There is still fiber though, even though it's